gonna crash out with you.
But y'all ain't the only.
But you can't. I ain't gonna lie. You can't take blind. You can't just eat blind side. Yeah, you ain't eating. You ain't eating blind side. It's gonna be a lot of bump.
Oh, we gotta do something nice for
With
you.
that ID.
Oh, thank you.
With that, you gotta make sure you gotta off camera, make sure that's official. That's what.
Yeah, I tried to put you down. You scary, man.
Oh, we gotta do something nice for
With
you.
that ID.
Oh, thank you.
With that, you gotta make sure you gotta off camera, make sure that's official. That's what.
Yeah, I tried to put you down. You scary, man.
This thing.
Come on, man. I'm gonna show y'all how country shit go for real.
Yo, imagine trying to go to work in this motherfucker car. What you was? Crackhead under my car? Putz, I keep telling y'all, New York is not a place. Did he get stuck in the car? Did he go under the car?
Y'all, this be the funny guy saying. The guy is from us so bad. The black dude was like, nah. We can't fight.
Don't get beat up.
Let's go on, bro. Yo, this guy be the funniest thing I've seen today. Look at this. The guy is from us so bad. The black dude was like, nah. We can't fight.
Don't get beat up.
Come on, bro. Y'all, this guy be the funniest thing I've seen all day. Look at this. The guy is from us so bad. The black dude was out. We can't fight.
Don't get beat up.
What's going on, bro? Y'all, this guy be the funniest thing I've seen all day. Look at this. The guy is from us so bad. The black dude was out. We can't fight.
Don't get beat up.
What's going on, bro? Y'all, this guy be the funniest thing all day. This. The guy is from us so bad. He was like, nah. We can't fight.
Don't get beat up.
What's going on, bro?
Come to me.
I'm trying to shut my door. Excuse me. I'm gonna put my in a second.
I'm trying to shut my door.
That's what I like.
I'm going to cuff next. Where's your bro?
My ID in the fly, you bitch ass slave catcher.
And I'm slave catching up.
Yeah,
You feel better about yourself?
yeah. What you pull me over for?
First name, bro.
What you pull me over for?
What was your first
Can
name?
you tell me what you pulled me over for? I know what you pulled me over for.
What's your first name?
John.
Fine, what's your last name?
For what? You still ain't tell me what you pulled me over for, bruh.
What's your last name?
What did you pull me over for?
What is your last name?
Henderson.
Miss Henderson, what's your date of birth?
8289.
Okay, where's your license? I see Maryland.
It's in Maryland. You see the tags, you bitch ass nigga. The tags just come back to my name.
I don't know that.
You bitch ass slave catcher.
I didn't want your
Yeah, rest in peace, Nat Turner, you bitch ass nigga.
You know who?
You could tell that slave hurt him to the core. He asked him for his license. I mean, he would give it to him. But he's not obligated. Somebody asks you, why am I being pulled over for? Just tell him to have a rule of course. This should not be no problem. They tried to scare him. It wasn't working. Hey, at the end of the day, it's about respect, too, man. He's sick of y'all messing with him. He calling him everything in the book. Holy shit, bro. That was the fuck. That's what
This is right here. Oh no, Don Julio? Nah, bro.
No, this right here.
Because
Come on, let's get you a chain, nigga. You supposed to, nigga. Come on, bro.
no, you said, but you did say, in all respect, you did say, drink less. Hey, give me some tape and paper. I gotta write less on the paper and tape it to the cup.
Look at my girl. There she go. Look at her. What's wrong with her?
You gotta smile.
Open the door, babe.
You gotta smile.
Can you open the door?
But you gotta smile. What's the magic word? There you go.
Baby, can you open the door?
There you go. More like it. There you go.
Look at my girl. There she go. Look at her. What's wrong with her?
You gotta smile.
Open the door, babe.
You gotta smile.
Can you open the door?
But you gotta smile. What's the magic word? There you go.
Baby, can you open the door?
There you go. More like it. There you go.
Look at my girl. There she go. Look at her. What's wrong with her?
You gotta smile.
Open the door, babe.
You gotta smile.
Can you open the door?
But you gotta smile. What's the magic word? There you go.
Baby, can you open the door?
Okay, I'm calling the internet. Is this shit working? Is it working? And edit.
a year. Your life can radically change at $40,000.
When it comes to producing like high-performing content, what is when it comes to producing like high-performing content? What is important?
Really phenomenal personal brand is great ideas. We have three things that make a great idea. They're unique. They have the proper. We have three things that make a great idea. They're very specific. TAM, totally addressable holding my hand. They're very specific. I had OpenClaw for the first time, and it generated some ideas. I had the first time ever AI. It generated some ideas. It was the first time ever AI did a better work.
If someone wanted to grow a meaningful following using AI agents, what in your mind is the step one?
In this field, I'm giving you about 60 to 70 hours. In this field, I'm going to give you property. You're just going to 60 to 70 hours of my intellectual property. You're just going to.
Before we get into the episode, I have to say that it's pretty surreal to me that I get to do this and record this show for you guys. That I get to do this and record this show for you guys and like so many of you. The reason why I do this show and I record every single week is that I want to show that anything is possible. Any dream, to show that anything is possible. Any dream, any reality. One of my goals at the moment is that I have this crazy delusional dream that this time next year I have this million subscribers. Dream that this time next year will reach a million subscribers, and the promise that I'll make to you is that we're going to improve the show that I'll make to you. And so I want to take you on that journey with. So hit that subscribe button and let's get into the show.
When it comes to short form video on Instagram and TikTok, I started to see you everywhere. And the way you've done it fast. You've done like in a very short amount of time. And so if someone clicked on this video wanting to quickly grow their audience on Instagram, on TikTok, and do it in an effective way, what's the one thing that you're going to show them today that they wouldn't have seen else?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is the backbone of a truly phenomenal personal brand is great ideas, great ideation. Whenever I say idea, it's just the talking points. What are you actually talking about? Except kind of intermediates and even the advanced. It's all about psychology at this point, right? Like, we'll get into it, but hooks don't actually matter as much as people make them seem like they matter, which is a huge thing. Your for hooks, it all comes down to you're getting about 250 million views across all platforms per month.
Yeah, I think that I enjoy about your content, but also why I wanted you on the show is that you're not just like a content strategist or personal brand strategist. You're a practitioner. Like, you're doing promotionals and going fast as well as with clients. And same thing when it comes to content, because you run a successful multi-million-dollar agency. But to this, when we spoke before, you said I started posting my own content in May of 2025. My agency was probably doing $500,000 before I started posting. Then I started posting my own content, and that doubled, tripled the speed of everything. And so, can you take us back to that origin, that starting moment of you start posting content and what that's meant for your business?
100%. I actually just got like a memory for TikTok saying, hey, in 1 year. Basically what happened is I've been in my agency for maybe 6 to 7 months, and I was more than I could have ever dreamed of. I got a job that was making less than $40,000 a year. In May was basically this, here than 2 years, right? It's like through creative strategy or from strategy. I had hundreds of inbound leads in 3, and we were to double that for inbound leads. And now since then, in a year, we're up maybe 6x, 600% year over year, which is insane.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting, Briar, and thanks for sharing that story. It's interesting because I speak with a lot of creators, either for this show or personally, and they make high quality content. What they haven't figured out how to do yet is actually using AI and AI agents in that process. And so you and I had a call a few weeks ago where you walked through some of the things that you were doing behind the scenes. And I left that call. He built one of the first truly AI native businesses that I've seen, where you're running this agency that's 2 to 3 million a year with 4 employees and heavily leveraging AI. Can you just make it clear to people, high level, because we'll go deeper into the weeds, but high level, how are you using AI agents to actually help do that?
So I know you specifically, I want to just go about this because I think it's absolutely fascinating. It's true you said AI-driven business models. I got it from a guy named Holiday who runs he's basically this awesome agency. He basically said there's a world where labor can just get cheaper and cheaper. So in the old days, agencies would have terrible margins. You have to go through people. That's just not the case. My son born March 8th, listened to 2 cases. Y Combinator when I was on paternity leave talking about how agencies as a service, so an AAAS business model, and then Taylor Holiday talking to me about how labor is going down, and so he can actually keep his prices low and deliver more for his clients. And he talked about this interesting concept, like, what if I actually lowered my prices on clients over time because it was easier for us to do work for them? And so these two worlds came together, like my son and I trying to take a 2-week break from work, and I'm like, this is where we're going. 1 month before I had opened for the first time, I generated some ideas which we're going to get to. And it was the first time where AI did a better than me. And I was like, we can truly give their service, their product as an agency, clients we have evidence to do before for a fraction of the cost. So it's funny you said 4 employees. We're down to 3 and revenue is still going up. Or the team size going down, revenue is going up. That's the business model here. And so specifically, how do we deploy our agents? Anything that is like manual labor that is not strategy, we're doing. Okay? Designing carousels on Instagram, running research, creating ideas, analyzing all of this stuff, then we would have been a full-time employee. Right? We are completely having agents run a creative director, inject strategy. The agents take the execution at the end. The creative director then polishes up, delivers it to the product. And so we went from only just literally ideas and edits and post data to now we're creative agent short form, to YouTube stuff, looking it up, and then LinkedIn and X, and even helping with our funnels because we can just speed up all of this process, and we've kept the price the exact same the whole entire time.
Yeah, you know, it's actually like living. Like, even I don't think I've listened to a conversation with a business owner that says that we're producing more for our clients at less of a price. Like, it doesn't even sound real to hear. And so, because you actually showed me some of the behind the scenes of this, and some of the behind the scenes of this, and it's pretty special. But can you just share with people, because I think we're so used to seeing content that's been generated or AI has been part of the process. It's like this slop, right? Like we link both the emojis or like the hyphens, and you can test AI jet. So hi again, just speak to I get that you've been able to provide more for your clients at a fraction of the price, but what about the results of that content that you've been able to provide and help with?
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into what truly makes AI slop and what doesn't, but we've added, I mean, in November, December, we had a girl who was a top 10 fastest growing personal brand online. She was adding 180,000 followers a month, roughly, maybe a little less than that. We just had a top name podcast jump on the team, and they've been with us for 30 days, and their views and metrics are up about 46% immediately in less than 30 days, about 28 days. We have a client able to do the process and will raise close to, I think, $3 million. If this stuff is all, that's the thing, it's powered by, not polished by. And so, this is what I always tell people is like, oh, well, AI, they always say AI will never understand taste, it'll never understand psychology. Well, let me just like a picture for you. What if, theoretically, AI will interview 10,000 people and ask them, show them pictures, what does taste mean to you, externally process this, and then gather all that data? It can learn taste pretty fast, right? It's all just data, and everything can be quantified. This is what people understand. Everything can be quantified. Psychology can be quantified. I hate to say it. Family Feud is basically just quantified psychology, right? And so we just send these agents out on missions to just truly get a feedback loop and kind of grow. And the things that maybe even feel like the artist, I'm a psychologist, we're going to go interview 10,000 people and figure out what art means to them and then start making art. And I don't feel like that. That's like the most like anti-human thing of all time. But then we have a character come in with the last 10%. It's a product. It's not linked in with the emojis and the hyphens or whatever.
Yeah. It's kind of, and I remember getting that saying it like this. It's really, the moat is like humans using AI. Like it's like this dynamic and this interaction between humans and AI and using it in the right way. And I think a lot of the times we hear this narrative of like the AI replacing humanity, and that's not where we're at, for at least from what I've heard. And it sounds the same for like what you're doing with your business.
Yeah, I think the moat is the intellectual property and the systems that go into these AI agents. So it's those two things. Intellectual property. Do you actually know what great content is? And then the systems. What are you going to tell it to do? Where is it going to go? How is it going to do it? That's the moat, in my opinion. And then to your second point, will it replace AI or replace humans? It will move. It's already happening. It moved humans who don't care about craft into a less fortunate place. It won't replace them. It'll just move them. We're seeing this. I just saw this post from the ClickUp, which is a project manager tool. I think they downsized 22%, and he said, we are not cutting costs because we want to take this money and give it to the people who are actually doing more of the work. And so the 22% of people who just got cut were the people who were seen as probably expendable or new or maybe not truly ferociously pursuing a skill or a career. And so they're going to move down into, a different role, probably at a lower salary.
Yeah. You know, it's I'm glad you shared it, because it's tough to, I think for many people it'll be like tough to hear, but I think, and this is my hope, is that to your point, it will allow opportunity for people to work on things and do it at a higher level, but the things that they care about, like their car, the thing that they feel they were put, because I think of that visual and the story that you described of your son is just born and he's 2 weeks old, and you're like holding him, but you're also listening to this podcast, and you've had this experience building your first agent with OpenClaw. And so you take us back to that moment, that first experience with OpenClaw, and that kind of like vivid moment when you realize, oh, okay, this is something that we should actually be processes in my business, actually do a better job than me in some respects. Like, take us back to that. Real quick, while we're on the topic of AI, I wanted to show you one of the new ways that I'm using AI, specifically Granola, that I think you'll find extremely useful. My prediction is that it's going to save you hours of time every single week. And so to give you the context, this is a response that I recently got from Granola that gave me the most important patterns it's noticed across our last 5 things I'd be aware of to improve the show. And so this was one of my favorite outputs. Granola said that we keep leaving the same editorial note to get to the good part faster on every single episode. Now this is something I focus on in the ePro. It's been such a useful part of using Granola, because if I wanted to find these patterns myself, I would have to take an insane amount of notes on every single meeting and then spend hours reviewing these notes and trying to find these useful patterns manually. But using Granola to transcribe my meetings and then their action items and questions that I ask Granola, it makes that process so simple. Look here, I was just able to come in, find the signal, give it some quick context, and it was able to give this super useful and accurate output. And it took minutes. And so if you're someone like me who's always in meetings, I highly recommend using Granola. And the best part is that you can just hit that link in the description of first month with Granola. Thank you to them for this episode. Let's
Go to the middle of February this year. I have a friend named Wyatt Wilson. Shout out Wyatt. Wyatt is like a chief AI officer for a private equity company. He's down and very technically sound in his AI. He helped me set up my OpenClaw. I had no idea what the hell he was doing. I had never been inside of a terminal before. I didn't know what was happening. We just sat down for like 6 hours and helped me set it up. And I was like, all right, we'll see if this was just the biggest waste of time ever or not. And I kind of didn't really know what I was doing. So I'm kind of just like talking to my OpenClaw. I'm like, hey, tell me about yourself. Like, what is the best way to like to get results? And it kind of starts breaking me down, like, you know, it's infrastructure and stuff like that. And I had, you know, I have consulting calls. I had probably 60 hours of consulting calls kind of in this like Google Drive. And I just kind of pointed my OpenClaw at it and I said, hey, like, I have a lot of intellectual property in here on like what I think makes a great idea. Because at that time, ideation was 40% of my company's workload. You know, we would do so much research, so much ideation, all this stuff. And we'd present it to the clients and then like they would probably accept 70%, you know, adjust 30%. It was just such a, it would take 15 hours for one of my creative directors. They were ideating for 15 of their 40 hours. And I just told my OpenClaw, like, hey, go through this Google Drive, figure out what I like about ideas, and then tell me what you're about to do, and then just go do it. And it was like, all right, yeah, here you go. Talk about these 3 things we're going to get into. And I was like, yeah, perfect, go do it. I need some, like, access to stuff, so I gave some access, and they kind of lesson on it. It's kind of like whatever work. Here's the 10 ideas, and I'm looking at it, and I was like, we have 3 things that make a great idea. They're unique, they have the proper totally good, and they're very specific in the psychology. So that has to resonate with the audience. And 9 out of the 10 were perfect, and they were better than whatever I could have done, and it did it in less than 15 minutes. I mean, it did it in 6 minutes. And I was like, this is crazy. Listen to those 2 podcasts I talked about, the Y Combinator and the Taylor Holiday podcast. And I just thought to myself, like, well, I have to go all this. I have to. This is the craziest thing ever. And so we are now delivering 50 different deliverables all in 20 to 30 minutes now. Just like ideation. Which blew my mind, man. And so a lot of people think, like, AI slop. And I was the same way. It's never going to be good. It's AI slop. Like, like 50% of the way there. That was the very first moment where it did better work than me. And I would say that I'm the top, you know, whatever, 1% of ideas. And in, you know, whatever, 15 to 50 hours.
Yeah.
You know, that'll change your life right there.
Yeah. That's just like a crazy juncture, right? 15 hours, 15 minutes. You think about that. I'm curious, and even in that 6-hour period of time, and we'll get to it later on, but even in the next period of time you're working with your friend, did that guy go right, where take a 50 and turn it into a 15-minute process? And here's the significant part, is actually the idea, like the final output was at a level, if not even better, than what you or a creative director would have come up with in the 15 hours.
Yeah, I mean, the 6 hours was literally just the basics of setting up OpenClaw. In the moments where I was prompting it, and I want to get to this, is there's kind of like these steps of what make it. We've learned over time. I didn't know this at the time. I learned this over time of what make a great like content skill. And we're gonna dive into that more on my mirror board here. So I don't want to give it away early. But the big thing I'll just kind of foreshadow here. It's context and systems. It's the most different channels. That's right there. And so
you mentioned a lot of people will hear the headline, or the catchy headline of like 15 hours to 15 minutes, neglecting the setup and the context and the systems level thinking that actually helps you get useful outputs. And so from what I've seen, and I'm not even there yet at 100,000 on Instagram, is most people don't get there. And so I wanted to understand from your vantage point, because you've worked with people at so many different levels, you've even grown your following. I saw that you recently passed 100